Alafia Leroy Hotep. Welcome to the Mind of Ro page. I am Iya Obajuluna. Today I'm going to make a video on staying hopeful during a rough patch or unsure times or stressful times, or when things seem chaotic for you. We all go through it. There's no such thing as going through life without it, so I figured it would be a good time to make this video. The last video I made was having the evil eye, or basically I was talking about jealousy. Do you have a bad habit of being jealous of other people easily? So if you have this habit, go ahead and check my last video out that I made. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Mind of Ro. I also have a business Facebook page at the Mind of Ro, and I also have a TikTok, and I also have an Instagram at Mind of Ro as well. And I also do readings. I am an Ianifa. I do divination. I do psychic readings. So if you would like to get a reading done, go ahead and just send me a comment or a message and set an appointment up with me. So I made the New Year's resolution to get back on YouTube and make videos. I've been really falling off. I've been really busy and stuff ever since I started initiating people into the priesthood and everything. So let me get back on videos. So I have a fair share of going through things, of going through tough times, and when you're in the middle of the tornado or hurricane, it could seem like it caused like a doomed feeling in you. So, but from my personal experiences, I remember going through all kinds of things. I think the hardest I've ever been through was dealing with my mom's death. She passed away in 2008. And that was the most emotional stress that I've been through a lot of emotional stress in my life. But I feel like that's definitely one situation in my life where it's like you can't focus on anything other than that when you're kind of in the middle of the chaos or in the middle of the heartbreak or the issues and stuff. So here are some steps that helped me, and something that I did realize, that when you're in the middle of it, no matter what you're going through, I mean, I don't know about you, but I know for myself that I've always overcame it. And it's never forever. Eventually, that story that's playing out in your life will come to pass. And I know sometimes it could sound very cliche to hear that, but every single time I've been through really hard times, I've experienced the fact that I've always became stronger from it. I've always learned something from it that has made me more resilient and has made me even a better advisor for other people and a better shoulder for other people. And it's always made me stronger somehow, some way, even if it's a very hard way to become stronger, but it's always made me a better person from my personal experiences. So number one I have is that something that really helps when you're going through really, really hard times and you just kind of, you don't know what to do. Sometimes that's all you do is have hope. So number one I'd say is being grateful for what you do have. And part of me doesn't like saying this, but I mean, it's when you're going through really hard times, it is good to tell yourself this, that there's always somebody else that has it worse than you. So, like, if you have a roof over your head, be grateful of it. Like, there's a lot of times when I go through things, and I'm like, well, at least I have a roof over my head. At least I have support. At least I have a car. At least I have a job. Or at least I have money in my pocket. Or at least I have friends, or whatever it is. At least I have family, or whatever it is that you have. I think the best thing to do is to focus on gratitude and being grateful for what you do have. And it could be worse than what it is. So be glad that wherever you're at may suck, but it could be worse than that. Number two is, I know it's hard to to go by this when you're going through it, but try not to be negative or be really focused on your negative thoughts. It's really easy to downward spiral and think the worst of things, and think that things are gonna get worse, and just have this like the snowball effect of negative thoughts of, oh my god, what if this happens? Oh my god, what if that happens? And it's just good to practice mindfulness and be really mindful that if you're going in a downward spiral of only thinking of negative things, focus on taking yourself out of it. And it would definitely help if you're not feeding into the negativity. So like I notice like a lot of time when people go through breakups, for example, they tend to listen to breakup music, like sad music or sad movies, and it just makes it worse. It just makes you're feeding into that frequency, you're feeding into that energy. So if you're going through a breakup, don't listen to breakup songs. If you're going through some kind of trauma, PTSD from war, for example, don't watch movies of people dying in war, you know. What's weird is that sometimes we have a really bad habit of, we're thinking about something, we want to dwell in it, and we don't want to, but we're subconsciously making it worse by not only feeding into it and coming up with all these crazy negative scenarios in our head, but also like either repeating the pattern of putting ourselves back into a situation that's just like the one we're healing from, watching movies that reflect that feeling, listening to music that reflects the feeling, or just keeping a negative attitude about it and just not pulling yourself out of it. So limiting your negativity to you, whether it's even limiting negative people. Sometimes if you're trying to be in a place of healing, you shouldn't be associating with people who are just on their own personal downward spiral of being constantly negative, constantly trying to bring you down. If you're trying to heal from a situation, limiting yourself from negative people is going to be really good for you too. Even if they try to say they want to support you, but if you feel worse when you're around them, this is not the time to be around people like that. I've been through some really very stressful situations where some people that you thought you're cool with can make the situation feel worse. And if you already feel bad, you don't need to feel worse. I'm not saying you have to, shove down on certain people in your life for the rest of your life, but there is a such thing as kind of learn to drop people off at the lost and found and return back to them another time if you want to, or not. Maybe you'll come out of this situation and be way better and not even, and just realize you don't want to be around that person ever again. But just limiting yourself from negativity is going to help you get through things. Number 3 is definitely have support. No matter what you're going through, always remember that you're not the first person to go through that. Whether it's dealing with a death, breakup, divorce, bankruptcy, injury, sickness, losing a loved one, whatever it is, there's somebody else. There's other people in this world who's even if they haven't suffered exactly what you have, somebody that's dealt with something similar. And even if people haven't, just having support in general, finding support groups online. I've joined many support groups online on Facebook that are free. You don't have to pay for it all. Just find people that's gonna understand your pain, understand what you're going through, just so you don't feel like you're going crazy. Because sometimes if you're going through something, and a lot of people that you are surrounded with in life, in your physical life, not online, that if they don't understand you, sometimes it can make you feel like you're going crazy or something, or make you feel like you're just left out or like the black sheep. So it's always good to surround yourself with people or connect with people that are going to understand you. And for those that don't 100% understand you in your life, just support in general is big. They don't have to have everything in common with you, have all the same pain as you. But if they're just a supportive person in general, it's a person that's like, I'm there for you, a person that always answers their phone to you, a person that's just very consistent with you and very sweet to you and nice to you. And they don't have to know exactly what your pain is or have to have experienced it themselves for them to be there for you. So I think having support is a really big deal, because sometimes we're in our heads a lot and we don't realize what we're doing to ourselves mentally or verbally until we talk to supportive people, until we're around people who understand, and we're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be thinking these things, or maybe I need to stop being hard on myself, or whatever the case is. The next one is, if you're going through something, it's always good to set goals. Obviously, there's going through a place when it comes to, like, let's say you lost a job or something like that. Setting goals of, putting resumes in, and like, it sucks. That stuff is hard. Like, let's say you lose a job and you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills. Yeah, you could go on a downward spiral and panic, but it's not going to make the situation better. You would have to plan things out and turn in resumes and make a really set goal of what you're going to do, with your life to be able to cover yourself and take care of yourself. Dealing with losing a loved one, sometimes the goal could simply be maybe spending time with family. It could be simply talking to a counselor to be able to deal with those feelings or be able to process those feelings in a more healthy manner. Those are just little goals that we can set day by day instead of feeling hopeless or feeling like we can't, like we have no control over any situation. There are situations in life sometimes that we don't have control over, but you can still set personal goals for yourself, whether it's just going outside, whether it's talking to somebody, whether it's, like I said, seeking help, talking to like a counselor or something like that. Set goals for yourself so you don't have that feeling like, oh my God, I'm doomed, or oh my God, I'm stuck. And because that doesn't help us when we feel that way. The next step is don't stop doing what you love. Something I noticed, like when we're really stressed out by things, we have this false belief like we don't deserve to do things that's good for us for some reason. I don't know why we convince ourselves that. Or we lose our passion for things, and then we tend to shut down. So something that helps you get out of that frequency or out of that energy is don't forget to do the things you love. If you love to do poetry, if you love to draw, if you love to sing, if you love to dance, if you love to go to the movies, if you love to swim in the lake, I don't know, whatever it is that you love to do, just because you're going through some form of loss or something like that, it doesn't mean that you have to stop everything else. It doesn't mean that everything in your life, the rest of your life, has to stop and cease to exist. And sometimes when you're going through really hard times, it feels like that. It feels like the earth stops spinning in your life for a little bit, like your world just stops. But it's not true. I mean, it's just one situation or maybe multiple situations, but it's only that situation or those situations that's the issue. It's not everything. You know, you can still go out and have fun. You can still smile. You can still be around your friends. You can still go out to eat with your friends and family, and you can still have get-togethers. It's okay. It's okay to leave that feeling of depression or stress or anger and give your mind and give your emotions a break and just go do something you love and take your focus off of it a little bit. Something that's going to feed your energy that you need, that's going to be beneficial for your well-being. You need it. So don't neglect yourself when it comes to things that you love and need, whether it's nourishing yourself, taking a herbal bath. You know, don't stop just because you're going through something. There's plenty of things you could do that don't cost money. It's free for you. And don't ever forget that. The next one would be to stay active and don't go to a dark place. So a lot of times when things are really rough, it's really easy to not want to get out of bed. And that is a sign of depression. It makes you not want to do things. It makes you not want to talk to people. It makes you want to ignore people's phone calls or not get up and do the things that you usually would do. And when you're staying still for too long, it can cause you to go into a really dark place inside your head that can get worse if you don't get out of it. So staying active, going outside, working out, and doing things that's going to get your adrenaline up and going, and your heart pumping is going to definitely boost those happy chemicals in your brain, and that's what you need. So if you catch yourself going into a really dark place and kind of shutting down, and it just feels like a cloud is just, you know, getting cloudier and more heavy, step out of it. Take the initiative and have that self-discipline to say, no, I'm not going to go there, and step outside. Go do something, even if it starts with just a simple walk around the neighborhood or going to the park. And anything is going to be better rather than you just feeling sorry for yourself and just, you know, hiding under the blanket and crying and, you know, and moping around. It's just not. I understand sometimes if you go through hard things, it's normal to grieve for a moment, but which is good to get that energy out of you for a moment. But if you're stuck in it and it's hard for you to get out, do something active. Go work out, go jog, walk, take your dog out for a walk. Anything that consists of you not constantly laying on the couch or in bed that's going to make you feel worse in time. The next thing would be know what you can and can't control, because you could be putting all kinds of energy and mental stress on situations that you don't have any control over. I mean, look at all the worldly events going on. Unless you're actively involved in those events, why even stress or freak out or feel doomed by it? Like, it's not, honestly, like, what is it going to do? Like, what is your stress or your feelings towards a situation you have no control over? What is it doing other than causing you grief, honestly? So it's always good to know what you can control and what you can't. If you can't control it, and you know you can't, and you're not going to make that your sole life purpose to try to control whatever situation it is, then leave it alone. And it's okay. You can't hold on to the whole world. You can't carry the whole world on your shoulders, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. If it's not your place to try to change that, or if you don't have control over it, just accept it and leave it alone. If you can control it, then take the initiative. And like I said earlier, set those goals, make plans to take those steps that you need to do to change the situation into something that's going to be better. If you're in a toxic relationship where you're getting abused constantly, you have complete control over that. I know it sucks sometimes when you're in situations that sometimes you feel stuck, but there's always a way out. There's always something else that you could be doing. You just have to figure out what that means or what those steps are. So what I'm advising is to not feel hopeless, not feel like you're at a dead end. There's nothing you could do. When it comes to other people's lives, you don't have control over other people. Let it go. You could give advice, you could plant seeds in other people, and hopefully that seed will grow. But other than that, you have to let things go when it comes to other people or things happening in the world, and focus on something else. Focus on something that's going to not stress you out so much. And just know what you can do, and know what you can't do. And the things you can control, take the initiative and do what you got to do. Because it's very empowering when you know you can control something and you actually take the steps to control that situation and fix it. Then do it. More power to you. Like, fix it. Do something about it. Because if you're not, then you're kind of creating your own hopelessness. So, and that's on you. So, if you have a way to fix a situation, then that's definitely a major thing. Then you do what you need to do to fix it. If you don't know how to, ask. If it's business and you feel like, oh my God, your business is doomed, then ask for help. Do you need marketers? Do you need business advisors, accountant advisors, whatever it is that you need? Then get it. You can't do everything alone. So those walls that you face in life, where you feel like, I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, and because maybe you just don't know. So you don't know, and that's okay to not know. Then reach out to people who will be able to help you. Reach out to people who might actually know how to help your situation, so you don't feel hopeless. There's always a way out. There's abundant amount of opportunities and options and choices that you can make, other than the one you're making now. So just remember that it's an infinity amount of realities that you could be living if you choose to. The next one is visualize a positive future. Sometimes when we're going through something that really sucks, all we think about is a negative. All we think about is like, oh my God, my life's gonna fall apart. Oh my God, my life's over. Oh my God, I'm never gonna love again. Oh my God, we have these crazy thoughts in our head. So I believe in the power of manifestation, because before we create things in our life, we have to think of it first. We have to be able to imagine it in our own minds, and like how else would you create it, So I think visualizing what you want for yourself as the outcome of whatever trauma or issue or loss that you're going through that's causing you to feel hopeless. Sometimes it's starting out with visualizing what you want out of it, or how you could overcome it, and really focus on that. If you lost a job, is it because you're meant to start a business? So visualize that. If you lost a relationship, maybe because you're meant to find your soulmate looking for you. Visualize that and really think about that. If you lost a loved one, visualize them being at a way better place, a place where they're not suffering. It helps. Visualization helps a lot, because hopelessness is tied to negative thinking and depression. So which is the opposite of imagining a positive future. So the best way to get rid of those thoughts within your mind is the opposite, which is literally taking the time to visualize a better future, always seeing light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes a visual board works, where you if you find images, or maybe print out images of things that you want to do for the future, whether it's traveling to go see Egypt, whether it's going on a cruise, whether it's eventually owning a large house, whether it's having a family, a baby, owning your business, nailing a really great job at the marketing firm, whatever it is that your goal is, and really imagine that and think about that. And if it has, sometimes it does help to get a big board and then tape a bunch of images of the places you want to see, the places you want to work, the things you want to do in life, to help you focus on that and not keep going to negative thoughts within your own mind. The next one I have is always celebrate your progress. If you're not progressing, that's not good. I hope you're progressing. But if you're taking these steps to stay hopeful, then celebrate your progress. Even if it's just one step, even if it's just oh, I've been depressed for months and I finally decided to go for a walk, and I finally decided to take a relaxing bath and pamper myself. Even if it's something that little and that simple, then celebrate your progress. You're not going to wake up a millionaire tomorrow. Well, unless you win the lottery or some miracle happens, that would be awesome. But the chances of you waking up to be a millionaire tomorrow is very slim to none, So, but it is very reasonable and very realistic to have little progress day by day. So I think you should celebrate that. If you're doing something you're starting out to go to the gym just once a week, bam, you started something, and you should celebrate that. You should give yourself a pat on the back, that's a good thing. The reason why you reward yourself with positive thoughts and positive reinforcement is to push you to continue the process. Because if you're oh, it's not good enough, or I'm not good enough, or it's not a big enough step, you're gonna end up sabotaging yourself and blocking your way to success, because it's no matter what you do, it's not good enough. So, and sometimes we can actually learn those habits from other people in our life that has treated us this way. So it's good to be mindful of yourself, of you doing this to yourself. And if you don't want to be treated that way, don't treat yourself that way. I don't think your friends would want you to treat them that way. So kind of treat yourself like your own best friend. If you're progressing, then good for you. You should be happy for yourself, and you should be positive about it. And you should be yay, I did it. You're doing something, because there's a lot of people out there that don't do anything at all ever and repeat the same cycle over and over again. So be happy that you're doing things, that you're progressing in life. The next one is something that I've realized is sometimes when we feel stuck or hopeless, it can simply just be because we don't know what we want. It could be a job, it could be business, it could be relationship, it could be us getting upset with our kids. We don't even know how to guide them, but we're just mad at them all the time. You know what I mean? So the last one but not least is definitely would be to know what you want. When you're feeling hopeless, how would you know how to get out of the situation if you don't even know what you want? So I think taking the time to sit with yourself and really process that information, and really even ask yourself out loud, what do I want? And really think about that. Write it down. Visualize it. Be mindful of your daydreams. A lot of times we daydream about things, and we don't even realize that's what we want. We think it's just fun. Oh, we're just daydreaming. It's just fun. But really pay attention to that. If you're daydreaming about things, it's most likely it's because it's something that you want. Now, don't get it confused with what you need, because you can self-sabotage yourself with something that you want that's not good for you. And that's a way bigger step when it comes to, maybe I should make a video on that. Being mindful of what you need and what you want is two different things, and being careful what you want. You should be careful what you want. But if it's serving you and it's not hurting you, it's not hurting anybody, then it should be a good thing, you know. Now, what you want, if what you want is hurting somebody or yourself, then red flag on that. But other than that, I think the best key is as well to get out of that feel of being to feel hopeful during rough patches in your life, is to know what you want in general to get you out of the situation, or know what you want to get out of it. Because sometimes you can go through rough patches in life and really chaotic moments, and you, scary to say, you do get things out of it, you know, in a really sucky, stressful way. But you, in life, we realize every time we go through things, we do get something out of it somehow, some way. So when you're feeling hopeless, it's always good to like really evaluate that. Maybe even talk to your friends about it, or spend some time with yourself. I'm an advocate for meditation, taking the time to do some mindfulness meditation or some stillness meditation, where you're literally just focusing on the present moment, focusing on your breath, or just focusing on things around you, or just focusing on your thoughts going by like clouds. Just meditations like that really help you be more mindful of what you actually want for yourself. Because sometimes when we're feeling hopeless, it's because we don't know what to do. We don't know what we want. And if you don't know what to do, it's most likely probably because you don't know what you want. So if you know what you want first, then it's gonna set you up to win, because then you know the steps you need to take to create that want or need, or whatever the situation is. So that's all the advice I have for you guys. I hope this helped for anybody who's going through any rough patch or chaos or issues in your life. If you haven't already, please like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Mind of Ro. And my next video is going to be on the red carpet mentality. So a lot of people are very caught up on famous people's lives, and it can get kind of toxic. So my next video is going to be about the red carpet mentality, and how it could be hurting you, and how to get away from that mentality. So I hope everybody is having a very relaxed day. Ankh Uchasene, Namaste, Odabo. Peace, y'all.